Something about a guy watching my girl squat, not gonna happen. But anytime I've hit you like that as a play fight or whatever, it has been maybe 30% of
You
my
leave
full
bruises.
strength.
If I wore short sleeves, someone would question.
Don't leave bruises. Don't lie. You're gonna get me canceled out here. I'm glad that you don't poop in front of me, babe.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you acknowledging. This is the weirdest freaking conversation.
Hey, you gotta
I don't wanna do
Hey,
this one.
is being single versus being with you. I would much rather be with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad because you were pausing there for a
Well,
second. I was like,
because I had
dang,
to think
you could
about
come
it.
at me
No.
like, no, I don't want. Welcome back, everybody. We are finally live for
The second time.
This is a real. We're welcoming back now.
Yeah, you can officially say welcome
We can
back.
officially say that we're welcoming back now because this is our second episode. Thank you guys so much for the support on the first one. Obviously, you know, it's a slow grind. You got to keep moving and showing you guys. But our job here is to make marriage cool again, relationships cool again, go through everything news-wise. We have a lot that happened this past week.
Yeah, we do.
So what crazy happened in your life? I know what crazy happened in my week this weekend.
Like me personally, or like
Yeah. Anything crazy happened?
yeah, hung out with you all day.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna go right into that, huh? Yeah, so I had a pretty rough weekend. We will spare you the details, but I went to the ER for the first time in my entire life.
This is the first time we had ever gone to the ER together. I guess first time you'd ever gone in your life.
I know.
I don't know if I've ever been to an ER.
I absolutely do not like to go there. They're insanely expensive, as we found out. Our deductible, literally just, we went, all we got was a scan.
You don't need to do numbers.
We got a scan and some IV, and I'll be real with them. We got a scan and some IV fluid. That was all we did. $6,000.
Okay.
That's a car. That is like a Honda Civic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How do hospitals get away with this highway robbery?
I don't know. You should ask your family.
It's really, yes. My
They're all
parents are doctors, and my brother's a doctor. I asked my brother, I was like, because all I did
It's
was
like we should have just drove to Oklahoma so you could have seen your brother.
I know. All I got was a CT scan. That was it. Just a scan of my abdominal area for your guys. Basically what happened is I ended up getting really bad food poisoning from
That's what we were assuming.
From Papa John's. That's what we're assuming. But
name drop.
I know. I loved you, Papa John's, but you did me dirty. I literally had such bad internal cramping from 4:30 a.m. to 12, and it was not stopping. We could not figure out what it was. And I started dry heaving. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was not fun being the wife.
My dad, who's a doctor, literally never says to go to the ER ever. And he was like, we were asking him, he was like, yeah, you might need to go to the ER. And I was like, oh crap, if he's saying it, then it really must be something bad. Yeah. And so basically, 3 hours later, $6,000, it was a mess. But you went and saw all your family this week. Oh no, you had a baby shower.
Baby shower, yep, went good.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us. I'm the only one left.
Yeah. so you're saying no kids for now then?
We're good.
All right, cool.
We got a lot going on.
I see you got the digs on right now. You're celebrating Halloween with your just so you guys know, Megan is a Halloween aficionado, and she loves Hocus Pocus.
I do. I love Hocus Pocus. It's the Monday before Halloween, so it's All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, you're right.
And
it
just gotta represent.
is. So why is it that you love rewatching old Halloween movies and you love rewatching Christmas movies? It's like your jam. You absolutely love it.
I don't know. I just love them. They take me back to a happy place, happy time.
Yeah. So you probably did that with your family a lot. Like you just like sat in and watched. We talked about that. So let me know down in the comments if you guys do this as a family, because we were kind of split. So on her side, her family always did like movie nights where it was like they got buckets, their own little buckets with their own popcorn, their own little candies, and they sat down and they watched a movie. Whereas like my family, like I feel like we did rent movies and watch movies and like got some pizza and stuff. But it never felt like it was like, we weren't like recreating a theater scene. It was like maybe some popcorn on a paper plate,
Yeah, no.
You did it all out.
Yeah, Friday night, went to Blockbuster, rented our movie.
Do you remember how cool
got the
Blockbuster
candy.
was?
Yes, of course. And then went home and junk food night, pizza, popcorn, candy.
The kids
ice cream
will never understand. Like the generation out there right now, if you're watching this and you've never been into a Blockbuster or a
what
movie
was the
type,
other one called?
It was like something movie.
There's another one, but
it was like red and white.
Yeah, Blockbuster's the only one I can think of because it was like the last one to go out. But you'll never understand the hype of getting out of school on a Friday and going to Blockbuster and renting a movie.
You go inside and you just walk around and it's like you're just shopping for something as simple as a movie rental. Made us so happy.
Yeah.
And like think about nowadays, every kid has so many choices of content to watch and so many movies on Hulu and Disney and Netflix.
They probably don't even really watch movies. They just watch TikTok,
yeah,
Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I watch more YouTube than I do Netflix, Hulu, anything like that.
Yeah, you do, for sure.
I mean, I recently watched that series Upload on Amazon, which shout out Upload. If you're into technology, AI, and like sitcom-based type stuff.
I mean, I liked it. Awesome. I got sucked in a little bit. I just didn't watch all of it with you.
You didn't watch the ending part. It's sick. It's getting crazy.
It has quite a few seasons, like 3.
Yeah, 3 so far.
Like, you got a good amount to watch.
But man, dude, going to Blockbuster, picking out that for us, we also picked out N64 games. They had those. Oh, because like games were expensive back then. And like they were all single player. You didn't play them online.
Yeah.
So it literally was like you could only play the single player game. So you wouldn't spend $50 just to play a single player game and then you could never play it again.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, like nowadays you have Fortnite that's free.
Yeah.
And you can play it infinitely with your friends. So it's like it's just a totally, it's annoying to me that it's such a better world than we had. But honestly, I think I had more fun then than I did now.
I mean, it's completely different. You were a child and carefree, and now we're adults and have responsibilities.
Well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and get right into what's the buzz. We got to cheers. Megan going with a little red wine today. I'm going back to the whiskey
it's
here.
It's a Monday night.
Hey, cheers to episode 2. Cheers to you guys out there that are also watching us. All the couples out there that are learning stuff about their significant other. Like, how many times have you guys seen, hopefully somebody went back and told their significant other about either the books or Nick Marks on Twitch TV or something and sparked a little conversation in your relationship? Because that's kind of what we're doing here. We're trying to make relationships cool again.
Yep.
It's cool to be a relationship. I was seeing some stuff online literally the other day, and they were talking that this is kind of crazy to go right out into, but they were saying that it was chic to be divorced and under 30 now. Like they were like, it was cool if you're divorced and under 30 now.
Oh.
Like that was like something they're bragging about. They're like, if you're not divorced and under 30, like, did you even do that?
Where'd you see this?
It was like, it's part of all these like new podcasts with all these kind of like, I won't like, it's not trying to bash them, but it's like the OnlyFans-esque type girls. Oh. And they go on podcasts and they talk about stuff. And it is kind of drama filled and stuff because they have to make their clicks and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of like their deal. And like also there's another big girl named Mia Khalifa. She was an ex-porn star. And so she has been divorced like 3 or 4 times. And she was like telling everybody like basically like if any slight wrong happens, you need to just completely cut them off and leave them and find somebody else.
I mean, that sucks. Who the hell wants to play the dating game? Like,
I tell you what, man, I
don't think I have time for that.
So our
my sister,
your sister, my sister-in-law is now going back through the divorce, and then now she's getting back in the dating scene. Yeah, and it does not look fun.
I mean.
All. Shout out to Taylor.
Shout out Tay.
Shout out Taylor.
Tay for giving us our life, giving us some entertainment the past year and a half. I mean, the stories that she comes up with, I'm just like, it's not even coming up. Like guys, it's legit happening, and guys and
girls.
I mean, guys and girls are crazy, but
they're just straight up now. They're just
I don't think I have the patience to get back into the dating game, so I'm gonna stick with not being divorced.
I can see why people don't want to get married in relationships. If that's what you get constantly over and over and over again, and all they want is XYZ, and they don't want a relationship, you just get burnt out all the time. Oh yeah. I'm just happy I found you, honestly.
I'd be single.
I'd probably be
thriving.
single for life. Yeah,
I would too.
I would just be like,
I'm out.
Whatever. But it is cool to have a relationship. I think back, being single versus being with you, I would much rather be with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad because you were pausing there for a second. I was like, dang,
think about it.
At me like, no, I don't want. He's like, yeah, no,
think about it. Like when we were single, we were like in college, and you're supposed to be single. You're supposed to like be finding yourself and doing your own thing and stuff like that. So yeah, that had a purpose and it was fun. But do I want to do that forever?
And the thing is
I'm in my young 30s.
We both did that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that get into relationships where one of the persons never did anything.
Yeah.
So it's like they never dated anybody. They never like found out traits about people.
I do think that's hard. Like
and you're 5-6 years in it, and you're like, I don't know if I like this person as much as I could.
And that's
like
why I'm
else.
like, date, and get to know yourself first, which is so hard. No one young 20-year-old person, but getting married is happening later now. So
100%, yeah,
I think
people aren't getting married till
life.
like 35 now.
I know. So that gives you a long time to find yourself and date. So hopefully you kind of know what you want to end up with.
100%. I could not think it would be so much worse. I think. I mean, just like little fling relationships are cool and all that type of stuff. But like having something long, like now that we've been in it for 7 years and you get to grow to know to somebody over 5, 7, 10, 20 years, like you just form a bond that you just have never had before.
Yeah.
Like I love it. It's super awesome.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure there's people out there that also are in relationships that feel the same way.
Heck yeah.
And so, like we're trying to be that positive light in there. I feel like there's so much negativity around relationships and marriage and all this type of stuff. I feel like you can have a relationship these days and it can be fun and it can be awesome and you're not missing out because it's super, super cool.
I agree.
So first story that we're getting into, obviously the biggest story of the week was Matt Perry from Friends passing away.
I know.
Did you watch Friends as a kid?
Not as a kid, no. My sister is obsessed with the show. Okay, listen. If I had to pick my show, it'd be Sex and the City for like that kind of same time frame, I feel like. But I have seen some episodes of Friends. I really need to just watch it from start to end. I know I do.
Now is probably the best time to.
Well, now I feel kind of sad to do it because the guy, I mean, he was young. He was only like 50 something.
54, I think is what he was.
It sucks.
I'm not.
So, but my sister, Taylor loves it.
I'm not going to lie.
That show.
I've never watched.
You've never watched one episode, or like walked in and mom was watching it or
I've watched
something?
a few, like maybe one full episode, maybe a couple half episodes here and there, but I never got into it really. I mean, I don't know why I never got into it. It never happened to be something
you're
I watched
actually
a lot.
not even really like a TV person though, so.
Not a huge TV person. No, I was always like playing video games.
I love my shows.
I know you are a binge watcher, but the crazy part is not that he died, even though that's crazy already, but basically is all the stuff surrounding the conspiracy theories around his death, which I don't know if you got into you weren't there last night because we wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, you and Taylor kicked me out.
So there's a ton of conspiracy theories.
My sister and him are like hanging out more and more, and they're like kicking me out so they can discuss things. So it's a surprise to me when it comes to the podcast time.
Well, like we can't. I don't like to discuss and then have to discuss again on the podcast because it's not.
I know.
Whatever.
Okay.
So, the big thing with him is he wrote a memoir a couple months ago, which is basically out of nowhere. He just was like, I want to write about my life.
Like a full book?
Full book, right?
Oh, sweet.
And one of the chapters in there was talking about like
Is it published and out already?
Yeah, it's
I haven't
published
seen
and out
it
already. Yeah, it's called Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Okay, well, let's get through this because this is crazy. So, and in there, he kind of talks about him and his persona as Batman. And basically, he says like he would pretend to be Batman or something like that, or he would, pretend to be Batman if he called out for help or whatever. I mean, people are coming up with all these different conspiracy theories.
Okay.
And so on his Instagram, he doesn't really post much. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he did these posts in a row. So his first post was this one right here, which was basically showing the Batman. And he said, no need to worry, everybody. I've got the streets tonight. That was a week ago. And then another picture of Batman again. And it says, sleep well, everybody. I got the city tonight. Matman. And then he posted another one. It's Batman's signal up on a wall. It says Batman
is he like obsessed with Batman
pickleball.
Or like what? What's the sudden?
He does like Batman, but it was kind of weird because the bat signal, just so you know, is a call for help. It's a call for Batman to come save, superhero to come save the problem. So if you send out the bat signal, you're saying, hey, I'm sending out for help. And then like this one was weird. He put three little cranberries on the ground and said, this is all I've had to eat today. I'm Matman. Like, that's kind of weird. Next one gets even weirder. He does a pumpkin with the Batman signal. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Next one is a full moon. And he says, do you not understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Was that the full moon that just happened on Friday?
I'm Matman. This was a week ago.
Oh.
And so he takes a picture of the moon. He says, do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm Matman. Literally 6 days ago, a guy texts and says, are you okay? Are you trying to give us a hint that you need help? Because people are starting to put all this together. And someone says, I'm getting really confused now. These posts are nothing all year, and now you're just posting this. This is so weird. And then the next one, and the last one that he posts, is him in the hot tub that he died in. And it says, oh, so warm, water swirling around you makes you feel good. I'm Matman. And then somebody 6 days ago basically was like, are you saying you need help or whatever? And like, there's been a lot of like crazy conspiracy theories and stuff about it. But people in the comments are kind of talking about like everything that's going on. Some people are saying he was going to be Batman for Halloween and that was his costume. And so he was trying to play up to that.
Is he known for dressing up for Halloween and like having these extravagant costumes?
No, not really. Basically, he was like, here was one of the comments said, if you read a chapter, he talks about himself in the past tense a lot. He apologizes a lot. It really sounds like he's saying goodbye to all the people he loves in the book. He died on the anniversary that he did that interview with Diane Sawyer about his new book. He posted pictures of Batman references. He posted pictures of the moon saying, do you know what I'm trying to say? He died on a full moon. He posted this of him in a hot tub, and he talks about how much he loved his view, how the water made him feel at peace. And he also said in his book how he isn't scared of life anymore, and he's just curious of what's next. Basically, he said it could all be in a coincidence. It could be a tragic accident, but it is very eerie. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that it was a suicide, or do you think
has his people said anything? Have they commented?
They said, I believe somebody said that it was a cardiac arrest, so like a heart attack in the hot tub, and then you just like pass out in the water and he drowned. But that's all. I mean, that's all conspiracy.
No one's like said any official. Like, there's been nothing official.
Nothing official that has came out, I know, but it is.
I haven't seen anything.
It is all very weird. And that bat signal that he put out was in his hot tub, like that red bat signal in the water, like this one. That's like in his hot tub. So it's like he's putting the bat signal in his hot tub. Like it's just so weird that it all happened right there.
I mean, if you're asking me what I think happened, I would think sadly, I think maybe he just...
Yeah, and then the other crazy part was everybody was like, it had to be a setup because who called the ambulance on him if he was by himself at his hotel room?
Wait, that's not his hotel room, it's his house. Or in his house
or whatever. And so what happened actually was that he purposely sent out his assistant to go do a bunch of stuff for him for an hour or two. She came back and he was dead in the hot tub.
At night? Your assistant's doing stuff for you at night?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was probably like, hey, go get me a bunch of groceries or snacks or, whatever full-time assistants do for people. And so, but in his book, I guess he said that he never wanted his assistant to see him in a bad place or something like that. So people are like conspiring about that too. So it seems to me like it's pretty cut and dry suicide.
That's heavy.
Is what I'm guessing.
That sucks.
But it just shows you that like you never know when people are seeing things are bad or whatever. I actually saw, I don't know if Zims can find this or not, but I saw like it was a commercial on Twitter and it hit really hard. It was like these two guys that were at a soccer game and it's like obviously it's a commercial about mental health and stuff. And these two guys sit down and one guy is just looking down and he's just super depressed the whole entire match. And like they score and he's like, doesn't care. And he's just kind of like pissed off at the world. The other guy's like super happy and he's yelling for the crowd and he's like trying to hype his buddy up and his buddy's just super depressed, right? And then they fast forward to the next game and one of them is not there. It's obvious that somebody committed suicide and he's mourning the loss.
Is this like a mental health
It's a mental health commercial. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like sitting here, what's the purpose?
And so he comes back and you can obviously tell that one of them had committed suicide or whatever. And he's honoring his buddy by putting his like the little banner that they wear around their neck, like the little scarves to support their teams, like on his chair. It turns around and the guy that's still alive is the guy that was depressed the entire time. And so it was the guy that was super happy, go lucky, all that. And then it ends with you never know who's.
Man, I got goosebumps.
Who's in? He's like, you never know when somebody's, thinking about that type of stuff. So
it's really sad. I mean, mental health is it's super important, and I think everyone needs to be aware of it. And it's not something you can do by yourself. And
I mean, I think that's another pro for relationships too. Is like now you have somebody that knows you so deeply and is around you all the time. You still, I mean, it happens a lot where you never know because it's so internal.
Yeah.
But I do think that at least that person can kind of pick up on it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
And all that type of stuff. So I mean, that's crazy, man. But I mean,
really sad.
that's the first one.
Dang,
first
we're
story.
going out there real.
We're wild. So I'm having
real
another
heavy.
drink before we get on this one. Whatever.
Real heavy for that first topic.
Next one is I mean, it's heavy, but not as heavy. The other huge story of the weekend. Let me know if you've heard anything from this. Is Britney Spears' new book.
That was my follow-up. I was going to be like, yo, Britney Spears' book.
So tell me what you heard about the big stories from that book.
So, honestly...
Because there was two huge ones, like bombshells that like broke everybody's face
I'm probably not going to know it. I just talked to a couple of my book club girls about it. Yeah. One was reading it.
Shout out book club.
Shout out book club. One was reading it, and she was telling me about like what was going on in the book and stuff like that. But JT got brought up.
In what ways, though? Two major ways.
Not in a good way.
Two major ways.
Okay, you tell me. Because it was not in a good way.
Is this your cop out? You're like, just tell me because I don't know.
No, I know what she was saying.
The first one,
it was just like a recap.
Was obviously he got her pregnant.
Oh, I saw her statement come out about that.
Yeah, he got her pregnant, and then basically, supposedly, he forced her to give up on it.
I saw that, but yeah.
And Lance Bass kind of came out too, and he was like, "Hey guys, I know you're upset, but like maybe let's practice some forgiveness. Like they were really young."
Yes.
So he kind of confirmed it.
Well,
because he hasn't talked about it at all.
Yeah, I also heard some things that Okay, who plays Topanga on Boy Meets World? I guess her and Lance Bass dated.
That was probably a cover up. It's got to be a cover up.
Like a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't out as being gay then. So
no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I know, but apparently he did some shady shit to her too. I'm just saying these guys don't seem to be that nice back when they were younger.
I mean, if you were the most popular people in existence?
I know, and I understand they're all like child stars and like. I could not imagine growing up in the limelight like that. They were
probably like 18 years old and probably had 25, 30-year-olds throwing them at them.
No, because Britney Spears and JT were in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So like they became very...
But that was when they were like 10.
You good over there?
Yeah. I was just burping. I didn't want to burp on camera. I was letting you take over for me.
I'm just making sure. Anyways, they became child stars. So
yeah. But I mean, this was all happening when they were like 16 to 18.
I understand that. I'm saying though, like I can't imagine what they were going through because they already had like a childhood that was already so different from just a normal childhood.
Oh, 100%. So then, I mean, literally, like I was saying, like Justin Timberlake was probably 16 getting 25-year-old women throwing them at him all the time.
Probably.
So, and I was looking back at pictures of Britney Spears and him. Britney Spears honestly was not as good looking as I remember her as a kid. Like she was like the it girl back then.
Oh, really? Christina Aguilera wasn't?
Okay, so that's where I was going to go with this conversation.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were the big dogs back then. Yeah. Everybody was in love with Britney Spears, but I think Christina Aguilera was way better looking. But she was like the bad girl. Yeah. Christina Aguilera was a bad girl. She was a little more risque.
She was definitely more risque.
Britney Spears was like the good girl that all the kids were like we would go to like church camp, listening to her CDs and you pull out the little album art and you see like the picture. You're like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. It was
my gosh.
The little crushes and everything. But I was looking back, I was like, Britney Spears was not that good looking back then. I don't know why I was obsessed with her as a kid.
I don't know.
Because Christina Aguilera was way better looking, honestly. She still is way better looking.
Christina Aguilera's gorgeous. Yeah.
So where was I going with this?
I don't know. But Britney Spears, her memoir came out.
Yeah. The second part.
It's okay.
Because I mean,
it's on my TBR.
Did you ever think there would be a world where Justin Timberlake was getting dragged?
I mean, everyone has their faults. But no,
he is the king.
Not really.
He was the king.
I know.
I saw a TikTok of him the other day where people were making fun of him, saying he was like an old dad dressing like he's washed up and all this stuff.
Guys, why we gotta make fun of people?
It just shows you that no matter who you are and how popular you are, at one point, the generations will forget about you and start to like dog on you and rag on you.
Very older. Like,
dude,
he
Justin
probably
Timberlake
does not
is still
care.
the man. Hey JT, you're still my guy, bro. I'll be friends with you every day of the week. I think you're the coolest, honestly. Yeah. But the second one,
I will 100% be buying NSYNC tickets if they come back out.
The second one, which is even more embarrassing.
Okay.
And this is what started off the whole memoir thing.
Oh Lord.
And I'll try and make it PG for here, but basically they were doing the thing, and apparently this is so embarrassing to say.
Why are we even talking about it then?
Basically, because this was the main quote from the book that started getting everybody like, oh my gosh, what is this book about?
Oh.
So they said they were doing the thing, and she basically asked, is it in yet? And he was like, yeah. And she had no idea. She was like, I couldn't feel anything.
Oh, wow. Dang, she gets heavy in this book.
Yeah. So basically he said that he's like, basically said he's EBD.
Oh, poor JT.
I know. And then the ending of it was, the ending quote of the book was, at that moment, my heart shattered forever, or something like that. You know, and so everybody was like, dang, this week he got, you know, the whole baby.
I'm gonna have to go look for
the
this
baby
book.
Thing. He's got a little pee-pee, and now people are making fun of him for dressing like a dad. Like, oh, man, poor JT, dude. I mean, this guy was the top of the top of the top, and now
he still is kind of, I think.
That's the crazy part to us, but to anybody under 30, he's probably like, they're like, who's Justin Timberlake?
Maybe, yeah.
We've had that. I've done braces patients and stuff, and you ask them, and they're like, who's Justin Timberlake? I have no idea who that is. I mean,
everyone, yes, we are not in that generation anymore.
It's
AKA,
true.
We are older.
But you ask them who Charli D'Amelio is, they know who that is.
Well, that's her generation.
That is. The final buzz story, the what's the buzz story of the week is obviously we got to get a little update on Trav and Tay Tay. So have you heard any news about Travis and Taylor? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift?
She was at his concert last Sunday. Yes.
Little Trav and Tay update.
I've seen so many things floating around online. I don't know, but supposedly she bought a house in KC.
Dude, imagine being so rich that you're just like,
this house was like $6 million. $6 million is a lot of money for a house, but not for her, obviously.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's just
$6 million in Kansas City. It's probably like a high rise.
It's
somewhere
huge.
Or
No.
like
It's like out in the country.
A big house?
There's a way for them to have security and stuff like that. And then supposedly he bought a different house too. I don't know how true that is.
Don't you just love being rich? Wouldn't that be so cool? You're like, hey, I'm dating this new girl, so I'm just gonna buy a $6 million mansion up there just so I can be closer.
It's because they want security.
I mean, if she made $1 billion off her concert, she can do whatever she wants.
Also, too, he is gonna go on tour with her when she goes.
Wait, what if this happens?
What?
She's so rich, she buys the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
What if she just straight up bought the Kansas City Chiefs and she became the new NFL owner? This is what we need to get into.
She has been associated with the Kansas City Chiefs already since before Trav.
Really? In what point?
One of her major backup dancers that's been on tour with her before is a guy. He's the brother of a Kansas City Chiefs player. Yeah.
Drama? Do you think
no,
it's
not
planned?
drama. It's just like
what?
She's already known about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
So I'm like curious as to how because, Trav went to her concert and was like, I got a friendship bracelet. And she didn't talk to him before or after, whatever. He went on his podcast and said that. And he was like, I was trying to give her my friendship bracelet because it had my number on it. And then Jason was like, what number? You're like, number or your number? Yeah. And he goes, my number. Or I don't even know if he did it, but you could totally tell that's what he was saying. And
oh my gosh, this is such a conspiracy theory.
She already knew of Kansas City because, this backup dancer has been with her and he's the brother of a Kansas City player.
Guys, new conspiracy theory for you Taylor Swift fans out here. Let's see what you think.
See, that's the problem. I think I'm maybe behind on stuff.
Got denied the Super Bowl. Didn't want to be a part of it. So she decides.
She didn't get denied. She denied it.
She denies the Super Bowl halftime performance. She decides that she wants to go a step further and show them bad boys. And so she knows the Kansas City backup dancer, gets the in through Travis Kelce, decides she wants to buy the Kansas City Chiefs oh, but wait, maybe she has a deal going on in the background right now we don't know about to own the Kansas City Chiefs. And then she plays the stuff with Travis Kelce to build up the hype of the Kansas City Chiefs to make her investment even better.
Did you just come up with all that right now?
She ends up owning the Kansas City Chiefs as a female NFL owner.
Why does she want to own an NFL team?
When you're a billionaire, you just do whatever you want. I don't know. Kansas City Chiefs could cost maybe it costs like $50 billion. Maybe it's like way more. I could be an idiot, honestly, right now. It probably does.
I don't know.
I mean, Elon Musk spent like $44 billion on Twitter. So how much do you think the Kansas City Chiefs cost?
I don't know.
But if Taylor Swift owned the Kansas City Chiefs,
does NFL pricing is the same as NBA? Because we know, I don't know. We don't know. No, but we kind of know.
Or
Mark,
something? It's got to be billions of dollars now. What? Because they have like $200 million contracts for just the players.
Oh, I don't know.
So I don't know, but it would be cool if Taylor Swift would own.
I need some Swifties to keep me. I don't Swiftie it up enough. 1989 TV just came out on Friday, and I haven't not had a chance to listen to anything. I'm behind.
Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?
I need some Swifties to drop comments and let me know what's happening.
The reason why I even brought this up is because there was a story that concerns me about you Swifties with Taylor Swift. You guys are wild. So there was a really short Twitter post, and I want to show you this short Twitter post. It says, Travis Kelce, this is from Taylor Swift Updates on Twitter. It says, Travis Kelce dancing to Shake It Off at the Rangers World Game Series today. And this is how much the clip is. I want you to see how much this clip was. Okay. Yep. See him dancing to Taylor Swift. That was it.
Oh, is that the World Series? Yeah.
That was the World Series.
I saw that.
5 seconds. You guys had 5 seconds of footage.
Yeah.
And they zoomed in, they scanned, they did some forensic background science, and they saw just 2 little pieces. They saw a top sliver and a bottom sliver, because he was holding his phone like this, of his phone lock screen. They go through and they sift through every single Taylor Swift photo
Swifties
ever
unite.
made. And from just seeing... Really,
that was her premiere for her movie.
This was all they saw was just this top layer here and one blue line here. And they sifted through and found the exact photo. And were like, oh my gosh, guys, she's on his lock screen as his phone. It's official. They're dating. Oh my gosh, you guys are insane.
I mean, I would not have done that. But I would have relied on other people to do that. I get on TikTok and I watch Swiftie. It's like Swiftie Education, Swiftie University. And I think
we should just get rid of the whole CIA, throw in some Swiftie fans, 100%. And let them go to work, because they're going to get every single person out there, and they're going to find them, and they'll clean up the streets, because you guys are seriously a little bit insane, just a little bit. I mean, you saw the movies of the people doing dancing circles
that's not insane.
In the movies.
That's appropriate.
That was like rituals of weird stuff.
That was not rituals. That was dancing.
Why do you guys hold hands in circles and dance in circles?
Because it's part of. You don't do it through the whole thing. You do it with. I think she did it in her concert with her dancers, so they were just mimicking what she was doing or something like that.
So it's just a cult ritual.
Yeah, just it's fine.
It's a little weird.
It's not. It's making friends with people that you vibe with.
So a cult.
Sure, Ben. Call us a cult.
I'm just kidding.
You're married to one.
You're like, you're in it now. Hocus pocus. Your girls on your shirt are looking at me over there like some crazy stuff. But that was basically what I had for What's the Buzz this week.
That's pretty good.
Some pretty crazy stories happened. We went through a lot on that.
Before our next podcast, I'm going to listen to the Britney Spears book.
You should. Oh, I mean, there's probably a lot going on with that for sure. I'm going to exit out of this, and then we're going to go into, I mean, you got like 1,000 tabs open here. And so we'll start with, I don't know why this is doing this. Okay, there we go. So I want you to start with the middle one, then we're going to go left, and then we're going to go right. So, and you got to turn on the audio here so you can hear it.
Okay, middle, left, right.
So play the middle one. So we're going into Feed Fix now. I found 3 videos this week that I thought were interesting for us to talk about. Some serious, some not.
Okay.
And I think you guys like it. I'm going to have another drink over here.
I'm clicking this one.
By the way, while she's getting that all ready, I want to say this episode we're still not having any sponsors yet, because we're new and all that type of stuff. So we're sponsored once again by my oral care company, Something Nice, this episode right here. By the way, if you want some of the best oral care products in history, innovative, awesome, and give back, and no BS and gimmicks, because I designed it. I was tired of seeing people with these whitening lights and crappy products that don't work, and oil pulling and essential oils and all this type of stuff. And so we decided to make the best products ever for you. No BS, no gimmicks, with innovative features that have never been done before. If you want to go check them out, somethingnicecompany.com. We're trying to take on Oral-B and Crest and be the best oral care company in the world. So if you want to support us and do everything until we get some sponsors, go check us out. Go check us out. It means a lot. It really does. And we're trying to build a Something Nice foundation, and we're trying to build it into our orthodontics offices to give back braces to kids in need in different communities. We're really, really trying to take what these big corporations are doing, flip it upside the head, give you better products, better prices, and do the right thing with the money instead of trying to scam you for every little dollar possible. So I appreciate you guys. Let's get into Feet Fix.
Shout out. Okay, I'm clicking it.
Biggest shit of my life.
So that one got like over 2 million views. And for my audio listeners out there, what happened basically, what does it say? The caption on the front of it? It's like once you've been in a relationship for a really long time, right?
POV, you're in a serious relationship.
POV, you're in a really serious relationship, and like he's waiting for his girl. It's like, that's the love of my life, and she comes in really quick, and she's basically like, I just dropped a deuce. I'm ready to go though. So I would say like what I wanted to talk about on that one is like, it's kind of true. Like at what point in what
we're going on 7 years, been together 9. I've never ever. I could never. I would die. I'm embarrassed right now for her.
But I would say, what point in your relationship do you start talking about that stuff a little more openly?
Me, never, because that's weird. I mean,
you're open with other things though that aren't like necessarily pooing.
I mean, maybe
you're like, hey, look at this.
I mean, to an extent, you have to be open about some things because you're with that person every single day. I mean, my God, no offense, honey, but some of the sounds and troubles you were going through on Friday was a first for us.
I don't even want to talk about it. Oh my gosh.
But so I mean, it's inevitable, but it's just a little moment. If you're sick, that's one thing. I mean,
I would say that is probably a little too aggressive for me. I'm the type of guy that I'm a little more old school. I don't necessarily want my wife like burping in front of me and like farting really loud and like doing that stuff. I know there is some couples out there where y'all do that, where you like fart on each other.
To each their own.
I mean, Taylor's kind of that way. She was like the type that just like fart on.
No, she's not. You cannot say that.
She might be. I don't know. She could be. But
how would you know?
Because I've seen her fart on Brenton before in the past.
No, we need to stop.
Okay, we'll stop. But anyways, there is couples that do that. You know the couples that do that.
Yeah,
like they burp really loud, they do all that type of stuff. To each their own. I do say that like probably what do you think? Like after 1 year in a relationship, you kind of like ease up a little bit. You don't care about being prim and proper all the time if you have no makeup on.
I mean, I just think it depends on how serious the relationship is. Like if it's just 1 year and you guys still aren't that serious, then probably not. But
how fast do you go into the no makeup, don't care how you look mode? What month is that for you?
I mean, no makeup.
Slumming it. Like you would go hair sideways. You got mascara like slide.
Okay, never sleep in your makeup.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
No, girls, don't ever sleep in your makeup. It's so bad for your skin. I don't know. Me, it's different. Like I can rock a no makeup look with like my hair and like a clip, and I would feel fine. Like it's not like that big of a deal. Now, like
because there's some girls that like they go to bed in their makeup. They wake up before the guy, go to the bathroom in private. You know, like I've even seen like people like leaving to go to the bathroom and then coming back because they don't want to go to the bathroom at his house because they don't want him to potentially hear or smell anything.
I mean, that's because they might be not comfortable enough yet. I don't know. I don't think there's a time frame. I think it's like a comfort thing. How comfortable are you with someone?
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't like going to the bathroom in front of you and things like that. Like it's awkward a little bit, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't like flaunt it in front of each other.
Who's me and you?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Some people just
That's
like
weird.
Straight up poop with the door open, like, hey, baby.
Oh
you know, it's
I mean, again, to each their own for everyone, okay?
It's
fine.
aggressive. For sure. So you're saying, like, it is what it is.
It is what it is for some relationships. Ours, no.
I should have pulled up some of the comments because they were all chatting in there about this. What are your takes on that? Do you think, like, what month do you think you should be able to do that? Or are you the type that is just kind of like Megan, where it's like, I've been in this 7 years, I still don't want to poop in front of my husband?
That's weird.
It is a little weird.
For me.
I'm glad that you don't poop in front of me, babe.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you acknowledging that. This is the weirdest freaking conversation.
Hey, you gotta be. Hey, this
this
is for all those couples out there. They're thinking the same thing. They're watching this. They're having the same discussion while we're talking right now. If we were doing a live show right now with a bunch of couples, which we do eventually want to go on tour, you know, like years from now, and like do like date nights and have like you couples come out, and then we have like we do the podcast live. See, this is the time where people would be shouting out. They'd be like,
"Oh,
poop in front of
I'm be like, okay, you do you.
I'd be like, yo,
bro.
raise your hands in the audience if you think this, whatever. 3 months, stand up. 6 months, stand up.
Whatever. To each their own. It doesn't really matter. Not happening with me.
Yeah, true that. Okay, go to the left one. This one's a little more. Sorry, no, actually, do the right one.
This one?
Do the right one with the goat. We'll do the two unserious ones, and then we'll do the.
Okay, so it says POV when you play fight with your best or with your boyfriend, and he actually fights back. Oh, aggressive.
You know what it is. It's like there's like these two little goats.
It's a goat and a husky.
It's a goat and a husky, and then the goat attacks the husky. The husky starts to attack back, and the goat's like, ah! Yeah, that's so true too. What makes girls think that they're stronger than us? Because it's just not true.
I mean, I think sometimes
you think you're strong enough to fight me sometimes.
Yeah.
But if I just even tried half my strength,
man, you're mean. I like punch you, and I know my punches don't do anything, and you'll come in full force and jab me.
But that's
and
not.
It leaves bruises.
See, the crazy part is, don't say it like that. You make people think I'm abusing. So what happens is she hits me. I hit her back with the same exact.
No, it's not the same because I'm not even nearly the fraction as strong as you are.
She hits harder than she thinks.
I don't think so.
And two, she thinks I hit harder than I think. I do like 30%. My 30%, she thinks I'm hitting like 100%.
You are.
I could do four times heavier.
Actually, I think you're like, I hit like 20% of my like full strength. I've never actually fully hit you with a punch, like backed it. I haven't. And you come in
hurt me
70%.
No, not
and I'm
70,
like,
not even close.
I matched your 20.
Not
and I'm
even
like,
close to
no,
70.
you did it.
Anytime I've hit you like that as a play fight or whatever, it has been maybe 30% of
you
my
leave
full
bruises.
strength.
If I wore short sleeves, someone would question.
Don't leave bruises. Don't lie. You're going to get me canceled out here.
Just kidding.
But that's the crazy part is you think that that's my full strength. I could literally hit you probably 4 or 5 times harder.
I think you should just take the punch. Just move on.
We're play fighting. You just abused me all day long if that was the case. I got to stick up for myself, man. Hey, guys out there, I feel your pain. My girl abuses me too, okay? She thinks it's all right, but she just emotionally and physically abuses me.
That is such BS. I'm gonna abuse you by bringing home another puppy.
We talked last week about that chick with 8 dogs. Absolutely not. We have 2 dogs right now. A third that was just brought in from your sister.
Yeah,
3 dogs is way too many.
It is kind of a lot. I always thought I could do 3.
I could even go back down to 1. That would be a sick
I think
place.
You should match the dogs with the adults in the house. 2 and 2.
Yeah, I think that's a great.
Actually, we have it matched right now, 3 and 3, and it's too much.
Yeah. Well, eventually, from what I've heard, is that you match it to the amount of kids. That way, each kid can play with a dog.
No.
I mean, that's how I was. Shout out to my dog lovers out there. When I was a kid, that's literally how I spent most of my days, like playing with my dog outside.
I mean, we always had a ton of dogs.
Yeah, and so what did your mom do whenever you were born? Hey, go outside and play with the dog.
That's true. Yeah, she did do that.
And what do you do if you have an only child? You have another child to play with the other child. Ooh. You know that's a real thing. Everybody does that.
I think it is a real thing because people want, kids to grow up with kids.
Yeah.
Like if a kid's by himself, he can't ever like play with a kid.
Yeah.
Unless he goes on like play dates
Plus,
and things like that.
I think it just teaches them so many good values. Like they have to learn how to share. They have to learn that they don't always get their way. They have to learn that there is an older brother and a lower. Like there's older brothers, there's younger brothers, there's unfairness in the world. The younger brother gets something when the older brother doesn't. The older brother gets, treated whatever when the whatever gets treated. And so it just teaches them a little bit how the real world just doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
I think right now, a lot of people are just like, especially only childs, unfortunately, the world is about them all the time. And then they get old enough and then they realize that the world does not care about you. Your job doesn't care about you. Your boss doesn't care about you. Like no one's loyal out there these days.
No. It is very hard to find like your core people. I would say it's much more easier to have a few select people in your life versus like a ton of people in your life.
I feel that for sure. I mean, as we get older, and I don't know how you guys feel out there, but I would definitely say the having small circle is pretty important.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of friends, but you can only have a few close friends.
For sure. Yeah,
for
I agree.
All right, cool. We're going to the last one. This one's a little more drama, a little more serious. I wanted to get your take on this one. This is a pretty big deal. So basically, this ex-NBA star
says ex-NBA player Joe Smith finds out his wife has an OnlyFans.
Yeah. So basically, he didn't find out he had an OnlyFans. Well, no, actually, he did. He randomly found out that.
Do you want me to just play this?
Yeah. Well, I need to set up the story here. So he found out that his wife had an OnlyFans. He confronted his wife. And this is the problem that I think is going on. I think there's a huge problem with social media, like for this type of stuff, because I think this is a mess. And so instead of them talking it out as a couple, she immediately goes and films his reaction behind his back and basically like plays it up like it ain't no big deal. It, like basically tries to make him look bad for being mad that she was hiding an OnlyFans from him the entire time. So you can play it and see basically what she did. And we don't have to watch all of it because it's pretty long.
Yeah.
You can just watch a little bit, maybe fast forward a little bit. But
Wait, no. You're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up. Listen, it's not fucked up. And
language.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice?
You can probably just end it there. They keep arguing on about it or whatever, but there was a lot of controversy about that online. A lot of people were talking about it. And basically that was her argument, was she was like, I'm putting my naked body out there for a bunch of guys to see without you knowing, but it's my body, my choice. It's not a big deal. And I'm only doing it with myself. It's not like I'm having guys in there with me. So it's like,
wait,
she's just basically,
what does it mean? She's only doing it. I'm confused.
like she's just with her by herself. There's not like a guy in there with her doing things.
But she's still sharing like videos and photos.
Yeah. Okay. Of like her naked.
So
body,
okay, OnlyFans, like
stuff.
you have subscribers, right?
Yep.
But then you can also do like DMing.
Remember, Megan is very socially.
I'm not cultured.
Yeah, she's very sheltered, and so we got to explain these things to her sometimes. So yeah, OnlyFans, you don't have to post. You could not post any nudity if you wanted to.
Yeah, I know. I know there's like this scale of it all.
Yeah.
But what
You can do
my question
DMs.
is, it's like the DMs that can be kind of like a date chat room.
Yep, you can do like.
And then
kind of
there's
stuff
the
like
stuff
that.
where people just subscribe and like it's like anytime you post a photo,
Yep.
they get to see the photo.
And you could DM him and be like, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 for a foot pic," and then you can send him a foot pic.
Yo, I'm
so
not
she was
opposed
probably.
to those feet pics.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like, if anybody wants, I'll send you a pic of Mega Feet for $1,000, and then it'll cover my ER costs from this weekend. God dang. And so, what are your thoughts over that? I mean, I have my thoughts on it, but if you were in my position and you randomly found out from somebody else. Okay, that's what I'm just.
I would literally look at you like you have lost your freaking mind. But that's like again,
that
relationships are so different between everyone. Yes, maybe they don't have an open relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have the respect there between each other. Maybe in the past, he's done some stuff.
Obviously, don't have the respect.
That's my point is like, it's not just one way or the other. Like me and you, no, we would never do that. But we've also said like we have boundaries and we know each other's boundaries. Maybe they've never even had that conversation. Who knows? And
it sounds to me like there was some boundaries there and she just didn't care.
What if he's done stuff in the past?
He probably has. I mean, not saying anything bad about him.
I will say I do think there is something to be said for my body, like what I do with it. But if you're with someone,
if you're in a
then there's like
relationship,
a respect there. So you have to find the line between that. Like, no offense, I really kind of want a small little tattoo, and you are very against tattoos. Will I never not get one because you're against it? No. But I think if I ever came to you and I was like, listen, it's still in my head. I've been wanting it for years.
A really good place to do it that's like discreet and not so
and it's
obvious
very small.
And
yes. And then, but that's my point is like, it's just because you said you don't like tattoos, that doesn't mean I'm never going to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
It
but
just
you
means,
take it into consideration
yes.
and you may not get one because of that.
But that also is not as serious as
your
like
choice.
Sharing your body.
Yeah.
But what if they have an open relationship? What if they go to sex parties together? You just never know.
I don't even want to talk about that. I think that's the problem with relationships today. I think the big issues that I'm seeing here, and we see it time and time again in social media relationships, and this was a lot of the discussion around this,
I think
was how social media is ruining relationships.
It can't ruin a relationship unless you let it. The relationship's already gone.
I know, but that's the point is these people are getting into drama and cliques and what can you do to get in. Like, there's so much of this relationship BS going on every day.
Yeah.
And like the whole, like even the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith stuff is like ridiculous. Like she berates Will Smith all the time, like talks about the guy.
Are they together
They're still together. They're living together and working it out. And she said she's
totally
figuring out ways to love him beyond the title of husband because she doesn't see him as a husband.
But again, that's something that apparently they've discussed and they're living together as.
I mean, Will Smith is the only person I know that got interviewed by the person that cheated on him on live TV and tried to talk him out of like thinking that he was being cheated on. Like, it's wild. That whole stuff is crazy.
I don't even know I didn't know that happened.
Oh yeah, they went on a thing like whenever she eloped with that younger guy. And it was like a friend, and she was like, listen, I mean, it is what it is, you know? It's like, whatever, you know, it's like not that big a deal. You're not even it's crazy. And so what's happening is, and the first thing that they did when they have a fight like that is you record it to get more clicks and views.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty.
It's crappy.
Yeah.
It's so crappy. And that's like what we want, at least I want to stand for, is that, you know, bringing like kind of like a lot of the wokeness and stuff like that you're seeing, you are starting to see a shift in the tides, and people are starting to wake up a little bit and say, okay, maybe we went a little too far. It's good to include everybody, but we're not going to go too crazy far. And that's what that new South Park, you know, movie was that I watched last night, which is actually really good. I don't watch too much South Park, but if you watch, it's called the End of the Panderverse or whatever, but it's really good. Not only for that, but the whole AI side of it, I think is really important that you need to watch.
Yeah, I think the recording might have sucked. And obviously the whole situation is just cringy to watch because it's not something that like
exactly
you kind of agree with. But again, you don't know the intricacies of their relationship. So who are we to judge? I can tell you right now,
regardless of what those intricacies are, they don't have a healthy relationship.
No, they don't.
And it's not a happy, healthy relationship if you do that. Because if you are committed to somebody, you have the values instilled in yourself, and in a relationship, you would never do that to your partner.
I mean, if you're in a happy, committed relationship, you have respect for each other. And if you have respect for someone, you wouldn't do it. If it was just me and my best friend, I would not do this to my best friend.
No, you wouldn't do it to anybody you respected.
Exactly. Ever. That's my point. It's not just like.
So the second she went on and did OnlyFans by herself behind her husband's back, that was immediately the time that she said, I don't respect you as a partner.
Unless he did something and he lost respect.
That's true. You're not wrong. He very well could have came back and, you know, he could have cheated on her or something. She didn't care. She's like, well, you're going to cheat on me. I'm going to cheat on you. Which is, once again, you're not.
Neither one are respecting each other.
Once that respect is lost from either side, like, I don't think you can get it back. I'm that type of way. I don't know how you are, but we've always talked about it. Like, if you cheated on me or did something like that, it would just be over, like, instantly for me. Yeah. Because, like, I would just lose all that respect for you as a person.
Yeah. I think I'm the same.
Yeah, it's just, it is.
I don't think I could ever like.
It's like
I wouldn't be able to function properly if I would be like thinking all the time that I'd be like, wait, can I trust him?
It's like 7, 8, 10 years. Like, you lied to me. Like, that was all a lie. It's
can I
crazy.
exit out all these videos?
Yeah, you can. Crazy stories.
Those
today,
are man. You gave me like all intense stories. Nothing fun. No,
those other two were funny.
Maybe.
Hey,
they were conversations and awkwardness that I hate.
I don't choose the weak stories. The weak stories choose me. Okay, so we're moving into the last segment of the week, which is obviously our Q&A, our Ask Anything. Excuse me while I got, you know, maybe some leftovers from this weekend, you know.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. But I'm going to bring it up. I'm trying to figure out where it's at. So we had 2 new situations come up on the Ask Anything. By the way, if you want to go, it's paireduppodcast@gmail.com. If you want to go input your questions and ask us.
You want me to take over for a minute?
if you want to go to paireduppodcast@gmail.com, send us your questions. If you have any relationship advice or anything like that you want to get answers about us, how we would handle it, what we would do. But I got 2 good ones this week.
Okay.
So this first one is going to get people riling up in the comments.
Oh, no.
Because there's 2 things that everybody hates, and it's money and mother-in-laws.
Wait, why do people hate money?
You'll see here in a second. Okay. So these 2 things together, it's like double trouble. Imagine a new wedding. Okay? You're about to get married to somebody.
Okay.
And this is what's basically happening. So my fiance comes from a wealthy background. And basically, he has a successful business that's added to that fortune. We've been planning out our wedding and everything, and his mother pulled me aside and strongly suggested that we keep our bank accounts separate, hinting that I shouldn't have access to her son's money.
Okay.
My fiance is torn because he wants to respect his mother's wishes, but also wants to build a life together with me.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be okay with this, or if I should have access to his accounts. Okay. So basically, how do we navigate this without causing a rift in the family?
Easy.
Is this a sign of deeper trust issues we need to address before tying the knot?
No, I got one word for you. Prenup. Just have her sign a prenup. Who cares?
So you're on the prenup side. Okay.
Hell yeah, I am. If we ever were at that kind of situation, I would hope my son did a prenup.
If I was rich when we got married, would you have made me sign a prenup? Or made you sign a prenup?
I would have. I don't care. I don't really care. Like I should not, you should not. If it was reversed, you should not have rights to anything I had that I built for myself before.
So the question is, why do you feel this way when so many girls out there don't feel that way?
I don't know. I don't know why they don't feel that way. Now, if you came to me and you had an issue for everything that started after we got married.
I think that's what they're saying, though, is like they want to keep bank accounts separate for like where the wife never gets access to it. Like never knows how much money you have in the account.
No, it doesn't work that way when you're married.
So, and just for you guys to know, a lot of people think prenup is such a bad thing.
No,
a prenup
literally
is
to protect you.
A prenup is for pre-wedding stuff. So anything that you've made or done or built before them coming into your lives is yours.
Yep.
It's the post-nup that can be a little weird.
Which a friend and I were talking about this, and I think we know what a post-nup is, but she was thinking it was something different. But
every dollar after goes to the
But she was thinking it was something a little different. So I needed to Google that. But I do think we have it right. Prenups, everything before, post-nups, everything after. If he's on the fence and he wants to appease his mom, just have her sign a prenup, and then the day after they get married, I'm sorry, everything is joint.
Yeah. I can see both sides. I don't think that just because you marry somebody, like if you were, say, worth $100 million, right? And you had a big Fortune 500 company of your own, like, say something nice was $100 million. It's not, but if it was, it'd be tight, But say if it was, like, you shouldn't have access to the company of something nice. Like, you shouldn't automatically own half of something nice just because you married to the CEO of the company.
I don't think that's how companies work.
Well, no, I mean, if you did a post-nup, you could post-nup certain companies' assets. Like, because technically...
Even if
normally you would do it underneath your holding companies. You wouldn't do it underneath your natural name.
Just because we're married doesn't mean I'd have access to all your companies. It just means I'd have access to your personal assets. But then I think it's percentages of things that you own. Like, it's not a straight 50-50, is it?
It is in most states. It's just a straight 50-50.
I don't think so.
But it is, I mean, it depends. If they were
formed together when they were married, then it's 50-50. If it's formed before and it's established before, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, anything formed before wouldn't, but anything formed after.
No, but I'm saying anything that, man, we could debate this. I'm saying like, this is where
Megan's like, how do I get my money? Well, what I'm trying to say is that it depends on how you form it. If you formed it underneath a holding company and things like that, it's not a personal asset. So it's nothing that you could even touch.
This is not a personal asset.
No, it's not, because we did it smartly. We did it underneath holding companies
I'm not
and all
saying
that type of stuff. But if they own the company underneath their personal name, then it would be split between
You can't own a company under your personal name. I mean, okay, wait.
Can all the time,
I'm not saying this is right.
Yeah.
If you owned 100% of something nice, not under a holdings company, but you owned it.
Yeah.
Just because I get married to doesn't mean I have access to that.
If you don't have a prenup or a postnup, you get your half of that because it's just my ownership under personally. Anything personal, your house, your car, your money in your bank accounts, anything you own under your personal name is split 50-50 just because you married. That's how the guy, Jeff Bezos' wife, let's see how much Jeff Bezos' wife got.
Is that how that worked?
Yeah. But she didn't, I didn't
think that was a thing.
Jeff Bezos' wife settlement. Let's see how much she got.
But did he form all this when they were married?
She received 25% of Jeff Bezos' stock in Amazon. And she is now worth over $35 billion.
That's my point. See, it wasn't 50-50. I do think that you do get a percentage, but I don't think it's an automatic 50-50.
I mean, you're caught up on the
also,
50-50.
too, did he form Amazon when they were married?
I think something like that, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
she
the
has a
things
right
of it,
to it.
but that was just one of the things she got. She still got 50% of their house, 50% of the cars, 50% of the money in the bank account, and $35 billion.
My girl made out.
That is the most, like she was married for like 10 years. It was $150 billion is what she got out of that divorce. Dang. She's worth more than most people just because she married the right guy. And y'all say you don't. And
I was going to have a comment.
And you guys say that you don't have it easier than we do. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. I don't think anybody who gets divorced like that, I don't know. Each scenario is completely different.
Yeah.
You can't, if she was there and she helped them build the company, then she deserves, her part in it.
Yeah.
And they have so much dang money, it doesn't even matter anyway. So.
Anyway, so to help our friends, I would say prenup.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to do it. I would say, prenup on everything beforehand. If it really is your company, she shouldn't have equity in your company or anything like that, especially if it was formed prior to. But I do think you should have joint bank accounts. I mean, obviously the business bank accounts can be separate.
Well, those have to be.
But your personal accounts, you should, because my brother and his wife, they have completely separate accounts where he has his, she has hers. Her job goes to hers, his job goes to his, and they don't see anybody's money in between.
Don't they like split bills
too? They split bills. He buys the food, she buys whatever. Can you imagine us
splitting bills?
That's
the
annoying.
Headache that I would have to deal with.
Imagine arguing with them and just be like, well, this is like $100 more a month than yours, and that's not fair because you're paying more than me on this, and you bought lunch last week, and I don't want to buy. It's like, bro, we're in this together. Let's just do this.
That gives me a migraine just thinking about it.
I would hate it. It'd be terrible.
Keeping my Excel spreadsheets.
Alrighty. So this last one, we actually were talking about this last week.
Okay.
And so, I have my opinion about it. You have yours.
Oh, great. I already know it's two different opinions then.
So my girlfriend recently signed up for personal training sessions to get into shape. I was totally supportive until I saw her instructor. He's actually really fit and a super cool guy. Also, lately, she's been having extra catch-up sessions. I hear her gushing to her friends about his training methods. And they've even hung out at parties and stuff with friends together outside the gym. While I want to trust her, I just feel like something's off. Am I being overly insecure or not? And how do I talk to her about this without getting her mad because I'm questioning her loyalty or undermining her whole fitness thing? So apparently she's trying to do like fitness IG types of, which is a red flag to me already out of the gate. If you're like trying to, because it's like a thing. If you're trying to be like a fitness IG model, like, the ones with like the booty shorts pulled up and all that type of stuff, it depends. Like,
why is that a red flag?
Because if you're really trying to work out and stuff, there's those fitness girls out there that that are like actually trying to do fitness. And then there's the girls that are trying to do fitness modeling that are just trying to do like a soft OnlyFans on Instagram. They're basically doing OnlyFans on Instagram.
Are they competing?
It doesn't say on Instagram.
No, I mean the IG models that you are talking about. Are they competing?
They're not competing.
Okay.
They're posting in leggings and bikinis.
Okay, I don't really care about them.
And selling fit tummy tea.
Fit tummy tea.
I'll tell you, yeah. We know the types. We know the types out there, boys. We know which ones to watch out for.
Okay, first off, I will say gut instinct is everything to me. I know myself better than anyone. And so if I have a gut instinct that something's going on, I wouldn't go to being like accusing them, but I would be curious.
Extra sessions?
Honestly.
Hanging out at parties now?
Yeah. But is he with her? Like, is he not at those parties? I'm assuming he is, since he knows that they're hanging out. Then how does he know they're hanging out?
Probably like she's hanging out with her friends and he's part of the friends group.
And that gets a little weird. That'd be weird. To me, it sounds like he's there at the parties and the guy's
talking
hanging
about how
out
amazing
there.
he is with her friends on his training and how good he is.
Again, there's a respect line and a boundary line. I think
there's
if you have respect for the person that you're with, you're not going to do things like that. But now, do I think it's like, because you're kind of on the ridiculous side.
No, I'm not. Hey,
you're on the
I know what she's
ridiculous
gonna,
side.
I'll let her say it, and then I want the guys in the comments to let me know.
You're kind of on the ridiculous side. I think there are amazing women trainers out there. I have no problem getting with a women trainer or a woman trainer. However, like, if you're just thrown with a guy and it just works out that way because you signed up for a program, then I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I just think you need to suck it up.
This is where I come in. I will never let Megan have a male trainer. Never. It's not going to happen. There's a couple.
At least you're honest about it.
There's a couple hard stops out there, and this is one of them.
I don't even know why.
I don't think you probably don't know much. I was in the fitness industry for a long time. Did bodybuilding. We hung out at Gold Gym. We saw the stuff all the time. I know those guys. I know the trainers.
Do you think all of them are really that bad?
Yes.
Really?
It may not start out that way, but unfortunately, us as men, we're creatures. We're creatures. That's what we do. We see females. It ends up doing that type of stuff. It's hard. They're slimy, man. They're
you
not.
You just said so many things.
I'm telling you.
None of it was like a complete sentence. You're like,
never.
They slimy stuff.
Yes.
It's hard.
Never trust a male trainer out there, guy. I know too many of them, and there are some good ones out there. I promise you.
I think it's wrong.
But
it's so wrong.
If you have to get a male trainer for a girl, make sure he's gay. That's all I'm gonna say. Because a straight male trainer, all buffed up around your wife, holding his waist, helping her squat, getting behind her, nuh-uh, not on my watch. Not gonna happen ever. How would you like it if I had like a girl bikini model fitness like working out with me and she's like laughing and like, oh my gosh, you're so big, and like holding my muscles and like.
Okay, well, guys not gonna do that to a girl.
A girl trainer would do that to a guy, yeah.
Okay, that's wrong. It's not your job to grab his muscles and give him like praise like that. Your job is to help them with their form and give them encouraging things like, yes, you're doing that.
How do you encourage a guy?
Yeah, you're doing that right. That squat right. Yeah, bend the knee a little bit more.
You're looking bigger this week, Ben. Wow,
no,
your muscles are getting
flirting.
big.
That's not encouraging.
Exactly.
There's two different things.
It starts out easy. It gets into flirting. And I'm not saying my wife would do this because I trust my wife more than anybody in the world. And that's actually one of the biggest things about us is the loyalty factor. She's the only girl in the world that I found that I truly 100% believe in loyalty, that she would never do that type of stuff to me. And even then still, no male trainers. No male trainers, because you just don't even want to take the chance. Nuh-uh, not going to happen. Let me know, boys, down below. What do you think? Girls, what do you think? I think it's a recipe for disaster. It's the same way as like if you just let your girlfriend go out and get, just blitzed and go out with her girls every weekend and go to the club. It just takes one time to make a mistake to ruin everything. One time to make a mistake to ruin everything. So, and like I wouldn't go out on a boys trip and go to strip clubs and things like that and disrespect you like that. But
I don't think going out and going to strip clubs the same as going to the gym and having a trainer for an hour.
Something about a guy watching my girl squat. Not going to happen. But, and plus you have literally, I used to be an exercise physiologist, personal trainer, bodybuilder.
You don't have the time.
Nutritionist, expert.
You don't have the time.
I will make time to make sure you.
Ooh, everyone heard it here first. I'm gonna start working out at 9 in the morning while I have to go at 6.
So Megan and I have this cycle that we do every year. We used to be super serious about working out. We went through like a whole thing. She had like a 6-pack. We were like rocking. I was like bodybuilding ready.
I've only done this one time ever
She's
in my
only
life.
Done it once. I've done it a lot, over the years. So I'm kind of burnt out now. But it's like every time around this time of year, for some reason, we don't.
Right when it gets cold.
Right when it gets cold, we're getting a little blubbery because we've been, eating whatever we want from July onward. And now we're like looking down at ourselves and we're like, now we got to go work out and be serious about it. Right when it gets miserable to do so.
It's like so cold when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to leave your bed and go outside.
But that's a goal of mine. I want to get back. I want to gain at least 20 pounds. Like I want to get way back to where I was.
Nice.
Like 8-pack status.
Okay. You think you can eat enough to do that?
That's the worst part about it. Like, a lot of people don't understand, to get really ripped and shredded, you have to eat a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you were eating like 3,500 calories
like,
a day.
You're a good person to tell the women out there, because you came from the old background of, I don't want to eat anything. Carbs are the enemy.
Yep.
I don't, like, I want to starve myself to try and get thin. And all you get is skinny fat from that. Mm-hmm. So tell them, like, how did I set you up on that first diet? What were your thoughts about that first diet? And then how were the results from it?
I mean, basically you had to change my mindset on things, but the only way I change my mindset is if I physically do it or I physically see it. So you made me commit to a 10 to 12 week program. I don't know. And you calculate my macros at where I was at and based off of like where I wanted to be. And the first few weeks were tough. Oh my God. I think you had me eating like 2,500 calories.
Probably 2,200, 2,100.
2,500 calories. Ladies.
It's a lot of food to eat.
It is so much food to eat. Like,
if you eat healthy.
But also too, I am a bird eater. I don't really like meals. I like to snack. So it's very hard. That's because
your metabolism is shut down. But once you got past that 2 weeks of eating, you got really hungry and it was easy.
No, so like the first 2 weeks, like it's a mind fuck, really, because like you're like
language, Meg.
Sorry, but you're like sitting here like, oh my gosh, I'm eating all this food. There's no way I'm gonna lose weight on it. Things like that. You are working out at the same time, of course, so that kind of helps battle that mental ish stability. But then after like the 2 weeks, you're starving. So then you're like, oh my gosh, something's so wrong with me. I'm starving all the time, and you want to eat. And then after that,
all of a sudden you start seeing them pounds just drop off.
Yeah, you really do.
Actually, the muscle goes up and then the fat goes away.
Yeah.
Because you're eating so much, your metabolism is so high, you don't need those fat stores anymore. Remember, I always go back to caveman times.
I know.
If you were starving as a caveman, you would hold on to all the food and fat as possible because you're starving. So you want to hoard as much as possible. Mm-hmm. If you get a ton of food every single day, your body's like, oh, I don't need these fat stores. I get plenty of food every day. And then it just uses them up.
We really should do it again.
I know.
I mean, I've gotten back in the gym a little bit more than you have lately, but
it's true. I need to get back in it. Well, another good episode in the books. I want to do a little final cheers to you.
Cheers
to us getting back in shape for you guys out there. And thank you again for hyping up another episode of us here on the Paired Up Podcast, making relationships great again, making marriage great again. And also for all those couples out there that want to be paired up for life. So cheers, babe.
Cheers. Thanks,
see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.